Good Sunday morning, everybody. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to today's cruise news. Now, I have several cruise news stories for you today, but I want to start off with a news story that isn't about cruising, but it kind of gave me a little chuckle, so I wanted to share it with everybody. Now, we hear stories about smuggling all the time. If you pay attention to the news, read news stories, you can see stories about smuggling. Yeah, sometimes it happens on cruise ships, happens on airlines, you hear it across country borders. Smuggling is something that happens. Of course, normally, it's drugs or people or some other type of contraband item is normally what you hear about when you talk about smuggling, but not this time. Not this time, because a couple heading into Tel Aviv, Israel, they were flying in. When they landed there at the airport, their bags were checked and they were found to be smuggling fruit roll-ups. And yes, you heard me right, fruit roll-ups. The thing you can go down to the grocery store, Walmart, H-E-B, whatever your local store is, and buy right there off the shelf, fruit roll-ups. Matter of fact, they had 375 pounds of fruit roll-ups in their suitcase. Now, over in Israel right now, there is a shortage of fruit roll-ups. They don't have any. And it's such a shortage that an individual fruit roll-up, just, one fruit roll-up, is going for as much as $6 each. While here in the U.S., you can buy a box of 10 for about $3. Now, they attribute this to some TikTok viral trend where you put ice cream in a fruit roll-up. I haven't seen it, but that is why they are claiming there is a shortage in Israel of fruit roll-ups, which apparently prompted this couple to take 375 pounds over there, sell them for $6 each, and make a butt ton of cash. Now, exactly what's going to happen to this couple, I don't know. I'm unaware of any rule where you can't bring fruit roll-ups into a country, but I'm not 100% familiar with Israel's laws, but I do know that their fruit roll-ups were confiscated. So just a quick tip here for your Sunday morning. Do not try to smuggle fruit roll-ups. Now, on to the actual cruise news, and we're going to start off with talking about MSC Cruise Lines. Now, in case you know or you don't know, the CDC here in the United States, they do routine, twice a year, health inspections on board cruise ships. Now, these are unannounced surprise inspections. They don't want the cruise ship to be able to prepare. They just can show up anytime, at least twice a year, and do a health and safety inspection. And they check things like cleanliness, food contamination, are the crews washing their hands? Is food being served correctly, stored correctly? Anything, that can result in any kind of health issue, contamination. They check the water on board the ship. It's a very thorough inspection. And MSC, unfortunately, they had a cruise ship, the MSC Seaside, that had their inspection back here on April the 27th and received probably the lowest score that any cruise ship has gotten in several years, where they scored a 67 out of a possible 100. And the last time we saw a score that was, closest to it was the Regal Princess with a 77 back in 2020. So a score of 67, definitely not good, considering a passing score is an 85 out of 100. Now, the CDC, if they actually wanted to push it to the full limit, could actually have issued a no-sale order for the MSC Seaside until all of this stuff was corrected. Now, of course, they didn't do that. They gave them an opportunity to clean up their act, essentially, correct all of the violations, which MSC has done because, of course, they are still out there sailing. But yeah, it looks like the MSC Seaside, they were slipping a little bit on some of their cleanliness and some of their health concerns, behind the scenes back in the kitchen area. But scoring that low is, it's actually very uncommon, and it's not a normal score for a cruise ship. Majority of the time, the cruise ships always pass this inspection, and a lot of them even get 100. Here, just in the last couple of months, we've had the Celebrity Edge, the Disney Fantasy, Holland America's Rotterdam, and the Carnival Sunshine have all received perfect 100 scores. So it definitely can be done. Hopefully the MSC Seaside learns from their mistakes and we don't see them with this kind of news story again in the future. Now, if you love traveling on cruise ships and you love heading down to Mexico, whether it's Cozumel, whether it's Costa Maya, or even Progreso, what you can definitely expect here for 2023, the rest of 2023, and into 2024, it's probably going to be a little bit busier than normal. If you like to head over to Mr. Sancho's, there's going to be some days that beach is going to be packed because Carnival Cruise Lines is estimating that they are going to be bringing over 3 million passengers just into Mexico alone. And that's just on Carnival themselves, not Carnival Corporation. Carnival Cruise Lines, over 3 million passengers into Mexico. Plus you have all the other cruise lines that sail there. You still have your Norwegian, you still have Royal Caribbean, you still have Disney Cruise Line, Celebrity, all of them that also sail to places in Mexico. So you can expect it's probably going to be a lot more cruise passengers there than there has been here over the last couple of years. And that's good news for Cozumel. Definitely more tourist dollars, but more ships means more crowds. And Cozumel is a very popular port in Mexico. Happen to love Cozumel, Mexico. But you got to think too, at some point, it's just going to become overcrowded. And the more crowded it gets, sometimes the harder it is to enjoy things like excursions because they pack them fuller. Places that you want to go visit are just full. So we'll see how that goes. But it definitely shows that cruising is on the rise. People are taking more cruises. New cruisers are joining the cruising community all the time. And good news for Mexico, good news for cruise lines, and hopefully doesn't mean bad news for passengers as far as crowding goes later on. And that's going to be our cruise news for this Sunday morning. Now, the big thing that was in the news, particularly yesterday, was, of course, the new king, King Charles III, had his coronation yesterday over in the UK at Westminster Abbey. And I don't know, is congratulations the right word that you give to folks in the UK now that they have a new king? I don't know. I don't know what the proper protocol is for that. To be honest with you, I don't really follow the royal family all that much, but I do know that it is very important, particularly to folks over there in the UK. So again, I'm not sure if it's correct to say congratulations, but congratulations to King Charles III on his coronation over in UK. Now, I hope everyone has enjoyed today's video. If you have, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.